Tonight's show is brought to you by Ventura Training and Athletics. Restore, train, maintain. Specializing in the restoration of the muscular system to help you move and feel better. Combating TBI, PTSD, and pain through specialized strength training. Again, get your body right, get your mind right, defeat the demons.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, Joe, and Buddy. Today's special guests are Dan and Ben, two nerds who came up with a really cool name to help veterans write better.
What's up, Trash Talkers? Welcome to episode 30 of the Trash Talk Hour. Shout out to our sponsors, Ventura Training and Athletics, Cardinal Financial, and last but not least, Buddy's favorite, 10th Mountain Whiskey. Type in that VTT code and get yourself a discount. Special guests today are Ben and Dan. They're going to be talking to us about their business ventures. And of course, I'm here with Nick, Buddy, and Joe. Let's get this party started. Cheers. Over to you, Joe.
Cheers, fuckers.
What's up, gentlemen? How are we doing? Why don't we start the soapbox off with
Common fucking sense, Private.
all right, sorry, I had to give the button a plug.
That was
why
good.
not? Yeah, get it in there. But Dave, we talked about this soapbox, and I don't mind if you guys chime in. But
I bet you did.
there's been a lot of back and forth between these the snowflakes, we call them, and
Hey, Joe, do you dye your beard?
what's that?
What's up? Continue, sorry.
Say that one more time.
Do you dye your beard?
Who sent you that message?
No, it just
hillbilly?
looks very, full and luscious and dark.
Look,
And-
see those gray hairs? I would have got
Yeah.
those. I would have got
okay.
those right there.
Oh,
See,
did you miss
you
those
guys?
with that Just for Men comb?
What's that now?
What's
yeah,
up?
well, it's so fine. It combs it so nice. But I don't need the dye. It's just pure testosterone that gets it jet black like that. But he can't stand it because he's a ginger with no soul and he can't grow a beard. So
Dan looks
I'm
like
sure
a
he
ginger, too.
I'm sure he fed you that. I'm sure he fed you that one.
This is 1 week. This is 1 week. Calm down.
I actually just
It
cut
looks-
mine. I
it
checked mine
looks-
up.
It
Go back
looks
to what you
patchy.
said.
It looks
Yeah.
patchy like your Tinder stat line. But anyways,
Oh, the comeback! Boom!
Fucking
Hey,
brutal.
Joe,
So
how do you
if they
know
think-
Tinder has a stat line, bro? What have
Well,
you been?
You've become
doing?
legend. I mean, that one
Yeah.
Tinder video you put up has 1,000 viewers on it, so I think you
He
got a
actually asked Ben
following.
about his Bumble.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. You can't be all questioning how much intel I got on it when you're making videos about it that got 1,000 viewers. It's public knowledge at this point, buddy.
yeah. Hey, Semper guys, Buddy did a how SF guys use Tinder, so it's pretty epic video.
Got
Check it
1,000
out.
views.
Yeah,
But
Check
so
that shit out.
basically what I
Quantity
was
over
saying-
quality for Buddy, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
What
start
I was
something,
saying
just
to
swipe
Dave
right.
is, and what if we can, like Shooter McGavin, let me get a little serious on you. But we've been having this conversation about how it seems to pick up at the holidays, all these woe is me and despair messages and emergency things. And, we handle those at our own discretion. And I'm almost tired of telling people how we do it, why we do it for their validation. Look, point is, we got skin in the game, and when we feel it's something valid, a veteran's really trying and he's getting the shaft and we can do something, we will. But we are a grassroots company. We're going to handle these matters as we see fit. And I'm going to address one. Who knows who he is? And I'm not going to say his name. But we got 15,000 people on that Facebook page. We've eclipsed almost every military group that was bigger than us that I was following when we started. And we try to keep track of it. Some guys slip through the cracks, but what I'm talking about is when you help somebody and you let them keep their integrity and their dignity and you don't mention it. And you think that, okay, we're on the same page here. You just got a blessing, took a major thing off your plate. The next day, because nobody knew that it was done for him, he's one hand clapping and in crisis again. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, how is today worse than yesterday, man? We just took
we just
a
paid your
major
entire Amazon wish list.
Okay, yeah, Nick, if you guys are okay with it, I don't care. I'm not going to hide from the truth.
Go for it.
We took his kids, my family, privately, bought their Amazon wish list, asked them to add some more stuff, and bought some more. You know, and I wasn't going to say anything about it, but the fact of the matter is this guy has continued to post about how much and how, like, man, I do believe that your situation's rough, but this is the message that Nick and I are trying to convey. And I know Buddy and Dave are 100% on board. At what point do you man the fuck up and start helping yourself? How many times are you going to take that $200 that someone wanted to donate to a veteran and say, hey, I need more, send it to me right after receiving a blessing? I don't understand that mindset. You know, because Dave, what we talked about it the other night, we said, you know, that person that reached out to help him, they were going to help somebody who was probably worse off than he was, who needed that message. You know, sometimes that 22 minutes is all a guy needs to turn his day around. And I feel like you keep taking, when is enough for you? And it's time to man up, take the help we gave you and start bettering your situation on your own. You are still pulling air. And if I held a mirror under your nose, you'd still fog it up so that you're still alive. Have some pride. You know, stop. You walk around, you want to wave that veteran flag. Well, act like it. Act like it. Be worthy of the help that you receive and say, hey, I'm going to take that and I'm going to try and do better on my own because of this. Thank you for taking that off my plate. Instead of saying, hey, I'm still over here struggling, being swamp water, not moving, not doing anything, and expecting the same results. So can you guys keep helping me when others need your help? Knock that shit off, because Nick and I, none of us are collecting a dime. We're investing our time. Forget about the money. Forget about the money. This page dominates my life, and I chose to have it be like that. And I know it's the same for these guys. But when you abuse it, you're going to get called on it. There's going to be accountability here. And man, I say take the blessing you were given, man the fuck up, and realize there's others that need help, and shut it down. So that's all I got, buddy.
As Draymond Green would say, yup.
Unless we got catfished. Maybe we got catfished, and Buddy can explain what that is.
Yeah, Daniel, you got the same
catfish.
Black Rifle sticker on your coffee cup that I do.
Wait, we got catfish. First of all, I didn't know we got catfish. Secondly, funny story is that my honesty cap was directly paralleled with Joe's little soapbox. And I didn't know that you guys had done the Amazon thing, but about 2 months ago, a guy that I worked with at one point called me, said he didn't have a place to stay, wanted to know if I had a couch he could crash on. I was like, no, I don't have a couch. I've got a guest bedroom. Come over. Don't worry about paying rent. Don't worry about food. Like, find yourself a job, get yourself on your feet, and then we'll go from there. Like, don't have to worry about anything. This guy is a serious alcoholic. First day he got here, it's like, hey, you know what? Let's go to an AA meeting. Like, I'll go with you. That way, you know somebody that's in there, and you can talk to somebody, get yourself a sponsor, and start getting yourself cleaned up. Yeah, you're probably not going to stop drinking today, but you can start weaning yourself down, and let's fucking do something positive and take some steps towards that. A week and a half later, he ends up in jail for back child support of somewhere in the range of between $30,000 and $50,000, which doesn't happen overnight. But okay, whatever, it happened. He goes to jail. Was in jail for a couple months. While he was in jail, well, a month and a half. While he was in jail, his car got repossessed, and I went and picked him up on what? It was yesterday, on Friday. I went and picked him up at 6:00 yesterday morning. By 4:00, he called me drunk. But by 6:00, he showed up at my house to get some of the stuff that he had that was still here, because he was going to go stay with this chick that he had hooked up with. P.S. His wife's not real happy about the whole situation.
Jesus.
And
Weird.
I'm
Holy
not
fuck.
saying that to put that dude's business out there because he's not on the page and none of you know him. That being said, like, you continually make the same shitty decisions. You've been sober for a month and a half. You come out and the very first thing you do is have a beer. You're in a hole already. You're barely digging yourself out of the hole, and the first thing you do is grab a shovel and start throwing fucking dirt out of the hole. Like,
His mind was already made up before he got there, bud.
oh, well, the fact is the dude he's decided it's not his problem. It's everybody else that has a problem, and everybody owes him because he was in the army. Like,
The
just
victim
like-
mindset.
just like the Mad Russian said, just because you were in the military doesn't mean anybody owes you shit. Like, you still owe yourself to, like, you still got to do the right things, make the right decisions in life. You don't have a card that says, oh, I was a vet. Oh, my bad. Come on in. Here's, you're not Hunter Biden. You're not about to get $50,000 a month by some Ukrainian company to run their oil company. Because
You're gonna get us all killed, buddy. Thanks.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not going to happen just because you're a vet. Like, that's not a thing. You're still going to have to get out. Like, I've been in the army for a long time. I'm about to retire. I'm going to retire in a year. When I get out, first thing, the army, the day I sign out is the day the army stops giving a fuck about Master Sergeant Beckwith. Don't give a shit. Oh, he ain't going to do anything for us anymore. The VA is going to fucking give me what they're going to give me. I'm going to get the retirement that I signed up for. And then it's time for me to grow the fuck up and go to college.
I was going to say, buddy, does that hurt your feelings? Does that hurt your feelings that the army treats you like a business decision and they're done with you?
Because I knew that when I came into it. And I've seen
it
the entire time I've been in the army. It's not like it's a surprise.
Business.
Like, it is what it is. Like, there's an old saying that the army is a fucking mistress. You're going to love her. You're going to fucking give her everything you got. But at the end of the day, that bitch is going to leave you for somebody younger and fucking better in the sack. And after 23 years, she's going to find somebody that's swinging it better, that's swinging it longer, and that's fucking not tired the next morning.
Yeah, we're going to mark this time of the podcast. This is beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
So that's going to make some views right
Wonderful.
there.
The end of my honesty cap is, just like everybody said, you got to make the right decisions. You got to, if you're getting help, then take the help. We're not going to be able to get you from the inside the hole that you've dug for yourself for the last 10 years and put you outside and make you a millionaire who's running around balling out of control in a day. But what we can do is make that hole a little bit less shallow so that you can reach the top and drag your own ass out. Like, drag yourself out. That's your job. That's what you should do for yourself and for your family.
That's one of the beauties of having the moment to say whatever it is you want and start your own show, because none of you guys will sit there and toot your own horns. But some of the thing that pisses me off is that you're dealing with these people.
Minus Nick.
You're dealing with these people who are asking.
I've done a lot of really cool shit.
Thinking,
I got to talk about it.
They're expecting this kind of help from guys who are fighting to get their own, who I've seen shed blood in combat. I've seen on the two-way rifle range. I've seen get fucked up and keep on moving forward, especially Dave and Nick, because I was right there for it. And I'm sitting there hearing these guys' problems out and knowing, they probably didn't see anything like that. And none of us are asking for handouts. We're trying to help, but for God's sakes, man, we all got our own fight that we're in the middle of, and we're still trying to do everything we can. You got to take that help and run with it. You can't just keep being one hand clapping, because, dude, I got two small children, one on the way, and a whole list of shit that I got to get done before that happens. And I don't bring it here.
Joe,
can we for a second talk about the dude that got on the page this week talking about the post-traumatic stress from his kids not wanting to be around him?
Oh, with the 30-year-olds?
And they're fucking 30
buddy,
and 33.
did you ever get an answer?
Homie.
Was that the answer? that was correct? They were?
They
'Cause as
were,
soon as you
his
threw your
kids
hat in,
were 30 and 33. I
as
was
soon
like,
as you threw your hat in, I said, Buddy's about to get to the bottom of this, and it's going
I
to be
tried
interesting.
I tried to Homer Simpson and back out, and then it
Yeah.
kept going. And I was like, they're grown ass men. Like, who
Yeah.
gives a fuck? Like,
Yeah.
they're grown. They should have
If-
their own family. They're
if we're
living with their
talking-
mom. They suck,
we're-
or you
if-
suck.
We're talking meritocracy. I apologize, but if they're 30 and 33, you failed somewhere.
Yeah, it's a pretty good segue into our guests because that's precisely what they do. They'll discuss it to where they help people, they help veterans. But again, I'm sure they'll talk about it more about how that they're going to give you the tools and how to do it, but you just got to do it yourself. Like you got to pull yourself out and actually get it done. Yeah, it's tough because
Thanks for being here, gentlemen.
I had a question for you guys, and I wanted to throw it out there, just kind of open-ended. One thing we see a lot, just with talking to these guys, trying to recruit these guys, is a lot of them are just staying static. And just like Buddy was talking about earlier, they're trying to utilize the vet card as in, well, I'm a veteran, I expect to get help. And it's, no, man, you've been static now ever since you ETS'd, and you now have a substance issue. You now have multiple of other personal issues, and you want me to fix all of this? Like, I'm here to help you. I am here to assist you with whatever you need. And now we're seeing a lot more PTSD. We're seeing a lot more TBI, and it's almost hard to straddle the point of, okay, are you mentally aware of what you're saying and what you're doing?
Yeah.
You know?
So Daniel, let me introduce you guys and get this party started with that. With what Buddy was saying and how you guys help it. Dave and I were on Army What the Fuck Moments Nation Radio the other day, and it was an awesome show. And we talked about things, but to be a leader in the Army, the mistress that Buddy talks about, you have to already accept the fact. Same with the Air Force, any DoD. Is your mission is to win wars. Like that's if you don't accept that first point, then you're not going to be a good leader. So as the DoD transitions to taking care of its force and they're trying to change that culture, which I always say they're going in the right direction, but you have to embrace the first goal. That is to win wars. And my father said it best when it came to using soldiers to with the coronavirus. He goes, I don't feel bad that they're there because that's what we pay them for, and he's not being an asshole. It's like, no, I pay my taxes so that people go defend me. Right. And so, yeah, go ahead. But Ben and Dan, Ben is got out of the Army as a paratrooper. So he's got that going for him, even though, he spent some time in Alaska jumping in snow. Like, how hard is it to land in that shit? And then you got you guys Dan.
Probably frolicked.
I know. Where'd you
Ben?
fucking skip out of there? And then you got Dan, the Air Force TAC P. So those guys bring in the boom boom, right? Bring in the big bombs to help us out. Now, I always tell every guest, if you guys watched our shows yet, that we make fun of you in the intro songs, right? So, like, obviously you guys are nerds because you help people write better, like make a better resume. That's cool. But what I'm worried about taking advice from a TAC P that got out is, don't they give you motherfuckers like $110,000 bonuses to reenlist?
What? Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
they do.
You didn't do that, huh? So maybe you can explain that as to why you didn't get that bonus,
What
or
happened?
maybe you did.
What
I don't know what happened. But hey, Ben, Daniel, Semper Vigilante. Did I say that right?
No.
Close. I mean, it's just vigilant.
Vigilant. All right. Welcome.
Yeah, somebody give me a
Welcome to the
breakdown
Trash
of what
Talk
you guys
Hour.
do.
Trash Talk Hour.
Ben,
Glad to
Welcome.
be here.
Ben,
Cheers,
Ben,
gentlemen.
Ben, give him the spiel.
Ben, take the mic and tell us what you guys do, because we haven't heard you talk yet.
Well, I've been just patiently waiting, to get around.
Fantastic.
everybody
I'm
here.
muted.
Oh, okay. So pretty much Semper Vigilant. We are a recruiting and staffing firm here in Omaha, Nebraska. Yep, Omaha. Weather is
Gross.
all around the place. In fact, it snowed and I had to go outside and shovel today. But we are here to help out veterans that get out of, the Army, Air Force, and tell them straight up, like, hey, you are coming into a workforce that does not value your military experience like we do as veterans. So this is what you need to do. Give us your resume. We'll look it over. We'll translate whatever you need to to get into the job that you want. Oh, you need help getting that job? You need to get in that career? Work with us, and we'll do everything we can to get you in that spot. And that's where we're at right now, is we're working with veteran. And that is what Semper Vigilant is all about, is, hey, we're here for the veteran. We want to make sure they get the job they want, make sure they're working towards the career they want. And like you said before, we want to make sure we are their listening ear. If they need to talk to somebody, hey, vent to us. Tell us about why, employer A sucks, or why wife 1 or 2, come around and, bitch at you literally 24/7. We're here to listen to you, and we're here to help out. And that is what Semper Vigilant is about.
How long have you guys been around, Ben? And is it like a online system that you guys work, or do you guys have?
How do people find you?
A lot of it comes down to is we started about last year. It was just a snowball and idea. We tossed it around. Obviously, we were ready to go probably early first part of the year, but COVID, it sucks. It tells you straight up like, hey, you want to start a business? Well, unfortunately, that's not a great time right now. We came around. We had this idea. We were ready to step off.
Sound familiar, Nick?
Exactly.
We started in March, Ben.
I know.
That's when we fucking
for
launched.
VTT, though.
But when everybody stops like hiring people, all of a sudden your entire philosophy of helping veterans get into jobs they want, and all of a sudden all places stop hiring, they freeze, they lay off employees. That's just not a good time to start. So we had to do a lot of things. We definitely listened. We definitely reached out. We prepped resumes. Unfortunately, this is not great, but hey, we are still moving on, because in the end, it's about the veteran. We want to make sure they are taken care of in the end.
That's
To answer
awesome.
your question,
No,
though,
that's go ahead. Ben.
we are on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We have a website that'll be sempervigilant.com. There's multiple ways to reach out. So I think
so
we
if they're
even have a
listening, they're gonna have all that at the bottom of the show, right, Nick?
Yeah, we'll put the
So
plug in.
when I release the show on our page, you'll have all your website information and all that stuff.
So
Dan, Ben, have you found that what is the attitude of veterans when they do put their resume in? The job that they want, does that commensurate with the job that they're going to get, or have you found that they think that they're going to be the CEO of a company because they were?
That's a good question.
Good question, buddy.
Yes, it is.
First thing we see right off the bat is we have to translate their resume. We're trying to translate their skills into, civilian jargon, helping employers kind of understand what their skill set is. So their attitude, just like you said, buddy, is, all right, I commanded 10 guys in combat. For the last 10 years, I've been 5-6 guys under me. And now they want to be the CEO, when we're seeing more tier 2 and tier 3 positions opening up, and they want the job they're going to get in 5 years right away.
Really? So they like, on average, Daniel, you find them to be not this is not an insulting thing, but on average, you find them to be somewhat unrealistic coming in?
A little bit. Yeah.
That's
honestly
surprising. That is surprising. Because like we talk about guys that are I don't know. I guess it's just like I'm looking at the 3 guys here that are still in, and knowing when they get out, like they're going to know exactly what they're walking into. They're probably going to have it set up. So it's just surprising that somebody could come. I mean, I could understand the resume part. That's beautiful. But like at some point they have to realize you guys are churching it up and making the verbiage sound pretty to get them in the best possible position, because people aren't really valuing their experience, if I'm getting what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, I think the gap here is that we're not dealing with the top 20%. We're not dealing with the cream of the crop guys who already know what they're doing. Guys like you, guys who understand their path. We're dealing a lot of a mixture on the spectrum of from substance abuse all the way to just don't know how to translate the resume.
Yeah. So Dan or Ben, hit up the process in itself. I'm out of the Army now. I find you guys on a website. Like, talk me through the process. What do you guys do for me? Obviously, you said resumes. Are you? It
would probably be position dependent, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Let him answer, Joe.
My fault. Ben, you go ahead and take this one.
So I'll take this one.
Talk to me about the process so our viewers and stuff can get an idea of how that would work work out if they hit you up?
It all starts with reaching out to us. We have our website built to either, you sign in or you create an account. If you don't want to create an account, that's fine. Just literally hit this button that says contact us. What it's going to do is it's going to send an email to both Dan and I. One of us will reach out to you as soon as we can. Obviously, if it's a Saturday right before the Army-Navy game, probably going to be a little bit of waiting until Sunday. But we'll reach out to you. What do you want? Hey, yeah, we'll definitely take a look at your resume. By the way, since we looked at your resume, let's see what we can do to help prep you with your LinkedIn profile. Don't have a LinkedIn profile? Well, that's not good. That's a website that recruiters use nonstop. We're on it. We try to send stuff out. You're on it, obviously.
That's why you're here.
But then from there, it's if you want to get a job, okay, let us know exactly what you want. Where you going to school for that? You don't want to go to school? Okay, this is what the expectations to come into a role from the Army without school. And it's the mindset we want to definitely open people up to, especially people getting out of the military. Worst part is people, like Dan said before, they come in a mindset of like, hey, I have 20 years experience working as a supervisor in a way, leading this little platoon or, actual company in a way of like, hey, yeah, no, I had to deal with them 24/7. Well, that's a little bit different from the actual company, or that's even better. That's more than the actual entire like team in the corporate world, because corporate world, you get to worry about 10,000 other things. And that's just the mindset you have to open up to. Is like, it's not going to be a 1-for-1 translation. It's going to be like, you have to go for the tier 2. You have to go for the tier 3. And with that said, even the tier 2 level, you're going to come in with a lot more expectations of, hey, do not say, donkey dick. I don't know if I can say that, but
You can say whatever you want here.
Say whatever the F you want.
We're not the
I don't know if you
corporate
guys
world.
had a chance to look through our social media, but we got a lot of those what not to say in an interview type things, And
you can't say you can't, like, when they ask you, like, so what did you do in the Army? Like, well, I fucking got after it. I know that.
Yeah.
I made shit happen.
Basically,
Yeah.
Fucking sent it.
I had up
You know
to
what's-
6
you know what
people
fucking
below
scunion-
me.
you know what
I would
scunion
get
is?
after it. I was what was referred to as a pipe hitter. I hit pipe.
You see that door? I'll kick it
got
right
after
off the
it, and it was
fucking
a pipe
hinges
hitter.
right now.
You'd be surprised how
Yeah.
often we see guys that are gung-ho ready to go and their resume is acronym after acronym after acronym. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've had to explain what SME is to hiring managers.
So you guys partnered with any like businesses and corporations then, where you help them out with their resume and then you send them, hey, I think this is a good place it's hiring, or are you just doing their resume and that's it?
No, absolutely. I'll take this one. So we have a lot of great opportunities being in Omaha here. We have 5 Fortune 500 companies that are headquartered here. We have contracts with Union Pacific. We also have contracts with KSI Engineering, a few other local companies like Valmont, and they're all great companies. And a lot of those types of jobs will translate. A lot of Air Force guys, Air Force engineers, they've been testing metal for wings, and Valmont, all they do is metal. So we're able to send guys over there. UP, obviously, Union Pacific is a big one. They love their veterans.
Daniel, Dan, hey, wait 1 second. Hey, is anybody that's on this podcast at all a train conductor? Are there any train conductors? Oh, there is a train
That guy.
conductor. My
That
bad.
guy.
I didn't know.
You got to be careful when you're talking about it in the bar, because it gets confusing when you're a certified train driver. So, like, I'm not being pornographic. I literally know how to drive a train. So, no big deal.
You talk about having to wear chick repellent in the bar, Ben. When they find out he's a train conductor.
Basically,
he's married.
like
Ladies,
being
he's married.
like
Ladies,
being
he's
a
married.
fighter
That was like
pilot,
flinging
but
them.
on the ground and without being able to control left or right.
I still love that.
But
I love that story.
Real quick, back to our guests. So you guys are partnered with all of them. So you just send their resume then, or do you send them there to set up an appointment? Like, I'm curious about this entire process. Because I mean, what you guys are doing is amazing. Like, that's some good
Well, let
stuff.
me break it down for you, Dave.
Yeah.
So they'll approach
shut
us,
up, Joe.
obviously, and we have had the opportunity to approach a few people. We do have a footprint at local university, but they'll approach us. We'll kind of get an understanding of what they're looking for. And once they send us our resume and we have a better understanding of what their goals are, we'll help them taper their resume, build it up, translate it into civilian jargon, and then we'll start talking to the people who we have contracts with. Hey, is this guy something that you're looking for? Show me what positions you have. And from there, if they're a good fit, yes, we're able to set up an interview.
That's awesome, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, give us. Can you give us an example of a good story, of a success story of how you turned something around?
Ben, do you want to talk about Tony Finley?
Yeah, Tony Finley.
Shout out to Tony.
His last name. Thinking about
We shouldn't fuck.
Yeah. Anyway, so Tony.
That's okay.
That's okay.
We're an LLC. You can't really sue us. So.
We're a little bit different, but no, Tony is he's a great guy. He came out of the military.
Tango.
Exactly what you expect for someone who wants to work in medical administration. Unfortunately, with the medical side in the corporate world, especially hospitals, health centers, health departments, they have their regulations put in place. And with those regulations, you need certain licenses. So it's an ongoing fight for us to really work with not him, but definitely, a lot of the places here in Omaha. The places that Dan listed, Valmont, UP, KSI, Amazon, they are great for what they're looking for. But for him in particular, we had to expand where we were looking at. We hit up, what was it? Nebraska Medicine, CHI Health. And I don't care if they come back on me on this one, but working with them is a little bit more difficult because they are new to us. They are new to specifically veterans and how they work. And a lot of this is, working with, on our end, working with Tony, make sure we are giving him weekly updates, giving the best information we can, looking over his resume, and make sure we're getting him in the best position possible with every single organization here in Omaha and even Lincoln, the areas around Omaha. So I guess that's probably our best story is we're not going to get the best one right off the bat for everybody who comes to us, but we're going to do what we can to make sure we are the veteran in the corner for everybody who gets out of the military. Dan and I both had the worst times possible, probably finding jobs. We met at TD Ameritrade. We were both on the phones taking calls. We were asking about, can I get the stock with 5 different letters? And then we both hated it. Well, I hated it. I don't know about Dan, but long story short is when we're looking for jobs, we felt like we had nobody in our corner to help us out. So we will do everything we can to make sure we're in everybody who comes to us. We're going to be the voice of like, hey, this sucks, but we're here to make sure you get through this suck. And that's what we're about.
Right. I think that's a clear and decisive advantage that you guys have. And it's a really refreshing spin to know that, like, maybe you can call a guy into the office and talk to him like 2 veterans do, and be the professional on the side that points them in the right direction, but puts them in the room like, hey man, this is what it is. Like, take it or leave it. This is the best we can do at this moment, but it's better than when you walked in the door. Like, kind of tell them to like toughen them. I don't know. Can they handle that? But I'm just saying, coming from you, it's a more trustworthy voice when they know that the fight was personal for you also. And, do you trust a civilian more to do it? I personally don't. I'm going to trust a veteran over a civilian all day long, especially if it's something related to the military and transition, which is a huge problem.
Yeah,
so I commend you guys. It sounds like a great idea. I love it.
I do have another question. I'm not asking a lot of questions today, but so talk to me about.
You're out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, talk to me about. It might be hard to actually get on that. The length. Like, you meet somebody. Everybody has their individual situation, but if you've already helped, let's say 20 or 30 people out, what is the length from start to finish to them actually finding a job and you actually hooking them
dependent.
With
on average, yes, it is case dependent, but if you wanted to find an average, it's probably around 3 weeks to a month and a half. That's our spectrum.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I'm gonna ask a really silly. I'm gonna ask a really silly question to you guys, but for people listening, I think they need to hear the answer. do you find that you have the biggest success rate with those that trust the freaking process and don't sit there tapping their foot, wanting to be an E6 the day they sign an Army contract?
Absolutely.
Like the ones that actually trust the process. Do you find that you have if you could actually put that metric out on an average, do you find you have a pretty big success rate with the ones that will literally take the steps you tell them to and follow the instructions?
Absolutely. I mean, if they are willing to understand that, hey, we know what we're doing here. This is why we started what we're doing. When they trust that, hey, we're helping you. We're not staying out of communication. We're keeping updated on every single aspect of your individual, circumstance and what we're doing for you. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those guys are obviously successes over the ones who sit there. Hey, I need an update. Hey, why am I not hired yet? It's like, well, did you update your resume? Did you send it over to Ben? Did you do this list of things that we have sent you? No? All right, you've been static this whole time waiting for someone to come suck your dick? Yeah, all right, well, that's on you, not me.
Well,
and how much?
A lot of us are still waiting for that. But anyway, so yeah,
Hey, how many? Sorry to cut you off, Earl.
You're okay.
I'm not at
all. We
all.
don't pay you. We don't pay you. You don't have to be sorry.
How many veterans can you guys? How many veterans can you guys help at one time? What's your bandwidth look like? Like you guys one-on-one?
Ben and I take cases individually, so I would have to converse with Ben, but I mean, we've talked to just between the university footprint. We've had the opportunity to reach out to 3 to 5 people at a time each.
Have you been able to establish a pipeline with a company that you're comfortable funneling veterans through, or is it not quite there yet?
Pre-COVID, we had a lot of prospects that were ready to sign that contract, that straight pipeline. During and almost post-COVID, we find it a lot more difficult talking to them because the uncertainty with everything currently is causing a lot of people to take a step back.
Yeah, very true.
See, that's
very true.
That's the thing that sucks too, is like, you're dealing with guys whose daily responsibilities have gotten to the point where they feel like they need your help already. And they take that step. They take that step to jump in and trust the process with you. And then COVID shuts it down even further. And then you really start to worry about those guys. Cause it's like, how are they handling this? While we're at kind of a stall, position. But,
we're stagnant. Stagnant.
Hey, I really like what you guys. I love your guys' mission. I love what you guys do.
That's awesome.
It goes with what part of our process is. We want to become big enough to be a one-stop shop. And if we can all join teams and get everybody on the same page, where hey, where do you live? Hey, call these guys. Got you. Hey, these guys will hook you up. That kind of thing. But so it's like a headhunting service, right? And you guys probably can explain it. And I'm tracking from some of the senior officers that I know that have gotten out where they get headhunted immediately, right? Because they at a minimum, they were a battalion level XO, right? And they were handling millions and millions of dollars. Like we all say on our enlisted reports that we handled millions of dollars, but these guys, they had to budget that stuff. So they have that experience. Now we just had a couple of podcasts ago, we had the retired SEAC, the senior enlisted advisor to the chief of staff. And he was angry that they're saying, hey, when you get out, what are you going to go be range control? And it's like, no, motherfucker, I'm going to compete for your job. I'm going to go take your job. So it's awesome to have 2 enlisted guys on the show, unless you were an officer, Ben. I don't know. Were you an officer?
I was enlisted. I was a E4 for life.
Yeah, you don't carry yourself like an officer, so it's no big deal.
I would if I was gonna throw my officer anything at anybody, it would be Dan. He's the one
he speaks like 20 languages.
He's been
he speaks
diligently writing the whole time. This dude's getting evidence.
Dan, did you?
So how do you relate your military service, Dan? How do you do it? Because I shared a thing today on the page about a Special Tactics Airman awarded the Air Force Cross for saving a Green Beret team.
That's a T-boy.
Yeah, I shared that today. How do you relate your service, and how has that helped? And Ben, obviously, same to you. How does that help you with, your drive and your resilience.
Well, to be honest, being embedded with Army units, I got to deal with you fuckers on a daily basis, you know? So dealing with a bunch of whiny fucking babies, I'm used to that shit.
Okay, first of all, let's go back a little
there.
bit, Dan.
Hey, let him go. Let him talk.
I feel like you got a little bit of Russian in you just now, because it sounded like you said you have to, but what you meant to say was you get to deal with Army people instead of Air Force people. That's what.
No, I definitely meant I have. Definitely. If you've ever dealt with any first ID guys, holy fuck. I mean, it's full spectrum with you.
Yeah, they're not airborne.
You know?
They're not
Sometimes
airborne.
it's
Those guys
wrangling
airborne?
cats.
No, they're
You
not
guys
airborne.
airborne over there?
There's nothing
Never
wrong
heard
with
of 'em.
airborne. I can handle
Never heard
airborne.
of 'em.
It's the 101st I can't handle, you know? It's just like, guys, you're
Never
not
heard of
airborne.
'em.
Take that little patch off, you know, kind of thing. So
Yeah, one AD was super cool, like in World War II, and then like that was it.
yeah, Banner Brothers.
Yeah.
Love that series.
No, that was.
Dan, why
that
do you
was
speak
101st.
Russian?
Why not?
So when I was in the military, well, I grew up in Tucson, Arizona for a lot of my life, right?
Hey.
Not too
I'm
far
in Phoenix
from,
right
from
now.
DM.
I'm in Phoenix. Yeah.
All right. I've
Surprise.
been up to
Sorry,
dealt with those boys up there.
can't help it.
But Russian and Spanish are two languages that I speak fluently. Russian was kind of a hobby. Spanish was for the military. We did some work with those guys, and great group of people. But I just found it's a lot easier to yell at someone in Russian when they don't know what you're saying. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
Aggressive as fuck. Yeah.
And it's very intimidating. Someone, you know, if I'm like, just
Yell at buddy.
You know, they're fucking shitting their pants.
Nick,
And I have their
Nick,
full
who's that
attention.
comedian that does that thing about Russian?
Yeah, that's German.
Who's that
for you.
comedian that does that thing about taking the Russian classes? He does it, Bert Kershire or something. He
Oh,
does it
yeah.
with his shirt off. His story about taking Russian and going to
Kreischer.
Russia. That is
That's
one of the
fucking
greatest
hilarious.
stand-ups
I
ever.
am the machine.
I am the machine.
That dude's awesome.
He is.
Fuck
Yeah, he
yeah.
is funny.
So yeah, keep going,
Keep it
Dan.
on.
Sorry, the Trash Talk
No,
Hour is
no,
always a
that's-
dumpster fire. That's why it's our logo.
No worries. Yeah, but anytime I'm mad at Ben, I'll yell at him in Spanish, so he doesn't know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I just
Spanish.
felt like, dude, don't take that girlfriend conversation with me, man. Like, I get it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, Spanish you can tell when the bad words are. Like you're yelling at me in Spanish, I could probably understand it, but Russian, I got no fucking clue what you're saying to me. So,
Oh yeah, Mudak.
yeah, no, yeah, sure. Yeah, yes,
Cabrón.
yes.
Yeah.
Da.
Chingas. No entiendo
If you
nada.
do, you're gonna clean it up. I'll tell you that.
Yet.
Yeah. Hey, well,
Yeah,
hey,
listen.
awesome, guys. We're gonna try to push you guys as hard as we can on our page, obviously. So,
Absolutely.
We'll get this episode edited and sent out. Now for the Book of Earl, I had a doozy lined up, but I'm gonna throw some credit to Joe and Buddy, and even Dave. Right, like you guys nailed it today. Or Joe, that was a great soapbox. Buddy, great honesty cap.
Oh,
Dave talked more than fucking 3 sentences. So like,
let those compliments just wave over you.
Yeah, I do the script, right? You guys saw, Daniel saw the script, Ben, you saw. I put a lot of time and effort into it, right? And like so, it's like 6 sentences long. But I know that I had to move my Book of Earl to the end to save the show because like I'm the talent, right? And again, I do boost my own horn because I drive a train, motherfucker. Any of y'all drive a train? Okay, that's what I thought. Buddy, see, you're muted.
Couple of nights ago, yeah.
I can't even hear your response.
I can give it a.
Did
I
you
can
just
try.
say boost your own
I
horn?
use the
You
train
mean
every
toot?
night, bro.
Toot
Yeah.
your
I
own
can do it.
horn?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that the word you were looking for?
Boost my own ego. Is that work? Is that fine? Is that better?
I use the train
Yeah,
every
I
night.
guess.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can check with
so-
the judges. They'll accept. They'll
what
accept
you
they'll
all
accept
just
it.
witnessed,
Refire.
right there
Sorry.
is the typical response from somebody who knows they're below and they correct your grammar. It happens on Facebook all the time. So when I say your and I spell it Y-O-U-R and your only response is to make sure that I grammatically fucking fix it, like, hey, thanks for the grammar
personally
update,
like
buddy.
it.
If you're
I like to
fixing
hit
my
people up with
grammatical
the
error-
UR. I like
if you're
to hit
fixing
people
my
up with the UR
grammatical
just because I
errors.
know it drives them nuts because they just
Yeah.
spent
Hey.
an hour and a half writing something and then I just hit them with that. You mean
Your.
UR?
Yeah,
if I'm doing talk to text and you're fixing my grammatical errors, this conversation is going nowhere.
Right? Like that's your fucking takeaway is
I'm driving
fucking
and I'm
grammar
talking.
correction? Fuck you.
It's like, I'm sorry. It's like, oh, do you drive a motorcycle or do you ride one? Like, my bad. Like
we should make that a t-shirt, Nick.
Yeah, well, make
Are you correcting my grammar?
We're still waiting on the fucking women's line, Joe. We like
make it a tank top so Buddy will be happy.
So for our page
winter.
and our trash talk audience, now we'll get about 100 to 100 something views on this, and for the majority of them, but we'll get over thousands to actually see their website and stuff like that on the page. But the people that are watching and listening to this right now, you're probably on the same page as us for the most part. So this message, it's not necessarily for you because you probably agree. That's why you're tuning in. With what the guy said earlier, and with the way Ben and Dan explained their business and how the veterans get out. Hey man, you need to do this way, right? Nobody owes you anything, and going with the holiday spirit of giving, right? And I had an argument with a guy on the page like 3 times. I declined his post and I said, write this, and I'll approve it. He gave this big sob story about how he's out of work and how he has kids and yada, yada, yada. And I was like, bro, just write, I live here. I need work here. And I will approve it. All right. Because it's so hard to vet every case, every story to find out so we're just not going to deal with it. That's what we're taking right now. And the end goal, like I said, we want to be so big that, hey, maybe we'll have an entire fucking department that handles that in the future. Right. And then that way, they can vet it. But at this point in time, we can't. So we just made the rule that you can't post GoFundMe's on our page. Yeah, right? Stop begging for money, right? Just say, hey, I need work in Rhode Island, right? I need work in Omaha. Just post that because the veteran community is going to come together fast. And so when this guy did that, again, the veteran community on our page came to act very quickly, right? And I commented on it right away before anybody else could act. I said, do not pay this guy's Amazon wish list. Right? I said, don't do it. I go,
this is a separate guy, Daniel, than the one I spoke about. Separate guy.
So I was like, number one, your kids need their dad alive. That's number one, right? Number two, they need their dad to have a job. Okay. Number 8,000 on the list is your kids need fucking Christmas presents. Okay? That's the last thing that they need. You know what a great story would be? Your kids are going to love you if you made them a fucking bridge out of popsicle sticks. All right? Your kids would love you for that. Maybe teaching them a lesson of, hey, we don't have any money right now. You're not getting Christmas presents, but I'm going to bust my ass and I'm going to get you some. Kind of like what Buddy was saying. Like you got to pull yourself out. And you know what this motherfucker?
It's very hard for some people to do what you just said, Nick.
What this motherfucker said what this motherfucker said was, oh, don't worry, the Amazon wish list was already paid for. And I go, I hope you earn it. I hope you earn it. Right. And so one of the guys that Joe was talking about, young lady, she's got a great military family. She's on her page. She's a veteran herself. She's on it. She tries to help this guy. And I find out who it is, and I'm like, nope, stop. And I was like, send a PM to all those people that wanted to help and say, Veteran Trash Talk already fucking took care of that. Right. So buy our shit so that we can get big enough to take care of fucking whoever we want. Right. That's the idea. And like we talked about on WTF radio, I don't care if I have a Lamborghini and a pool 10 years from now, because I have property everywhere that people just sign out. Like, you want to take your squad to this cabin? Go. You want to take your, boys over here? Go. Right. It's yours. Take it for a month. Right. Like, so what? People hate for profit. And the last thing I'll say, all right, because those guys already covered that today, is anger issues as far as not liking what people do. I had a little problem with this on Facebook, right? doesn't matter what your problem is. There's so many things in a character traits that, I mean, let's not get too religious, but the Bible says, like no sin is greater, right? So no matter what you do, it's probably the same emotional response to what triggers you. All right. And the worst thing, I can't stand when I see people fighting over like what an asshole somebody is, yet they have kids with them. Right? Like, what, this guy's a jerk, this guy's lazy, right? But you're married to him. Stop whining about it. Stop complaining about it. Come together, work together, drive each other, push each other. And the same thing works in the veteran community. That's the point, is that we're not here to give you shit. Ben and Dan, you're going to pay them, and they're going to help you. They're not there to give you shit. They're going to help you get out. They're going to drive you. They're going to push you. Right? If you're not driving or pushing somebody to be better, then don't fucking complain about them. If you're not driving and pushing to be better, then don't complain about the system, because you're not fucking trying. So that's the Book of Earl. Like I said, I wanted to keep it short because you guys nailed it today. Ben, Dan, give us a plug. Give yourself a plug. Give yourself a plug one more time, and then Dan, we never addressed why you didn't stay at TAC B, but we can.
I can tell you right now.
Do it.
Run it.
Do it. We got time.
Yeah. All right. I got tired of jumping out of planes.
The dumpster fire starts now.
I got tired of jumping out of planes, and I wanted to learn how to fly them. So I currently am a part-time student at UNO.
Buddy's a pilot too.
Buddy's a pilot. You're just a student. Buddy's a pilot.
Well, I'm just doing I just started Cessna 172.
Buddy's a pilot, more like George Young was a pilot.
Not a huge deal, but I just did 45-degree banks and landed planes all by myself. Like,
so there I was yanking and banking.
No big deal.
Boom.
No, sorry, Dan, we cut you off again, but it's a dumpster fire. So
we're very immature, Dan.
Go for it, Dan. Go for it.
No, I got out of JTAC because I got hurt pretty bad, and I wanted to start making money in the private sector.
What happened? Would you mind talking about your injury?
No, that's fine. I
had
knee pops and I lost part of my knee.
Ooh.
Damn.
Gross.
It is fucking gross. I got a cadaver's kneecap.
That's awesome.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
What was the recovery? How did it go? Like, what would you say?
About 3 years total. Everything's
how do you feel
done.
now?
Walking after 6 months again. 2 surgeries.
Yeah. And there it is, trash talkers. Listen, I'm gonna sing these guys' praises because I've been waiting to say it, and it keys on what Nick was saying. These guys know what they're doing. You know they know what they're doing because you came to them. So trust the fucking process. Don't come to them for help and then ask them to help you this way. That's your way, and it didn't work. That's why you're there. Trust the process. And like Nick said, don't come out there with a resume and say, can you church this up and make it look? Say, I'm going to compete for that job. That's what pisses us off. It's not a Walmart greeter capable resume. You can compete with anybody if you act like it. Walk like you fucking talk. I know Nick. I know that's probably what he's going to end up doing if this thing isn't what we do when we retire, which is what we're hoping for. But why wouldn't you take that and be like, hey, does me commanding all these troops mean that much to you? Who gives a fuck what it means to them? Act like it means that much to you and say, anything you throw at me, I learned how to handle while dealing with this.
Adapt and overcome.
Use that veteran tag the right way, the honest way, like and treat it with integrity and go get it. Go compete. Don't just walk in there and be like, well, I should get this. Well, go fucking take it then. But anyways, that's all I got. I love what you guys do. Go ahead.
Before you do that, hey Dan, can you show your coffee mug again? we were talking about this and we have to give a big shout out to WTF
Black
Nation
Rifle.
Radio, where we talked about
Shout out
Black
to
Rifle.
Spanky and Ice. Shout out to Spanky and Ice.
And then, Beckwith brought it up the other week, and we're going to keep plugging BRC until, they give us a plug that, they said.
I don't know if you guys know this, but Jared Taylor, one of the founding members, he was attack beef.
Oh yeah. And so, but the problem is they got the snowflakes on the right side of the bell curve, right? That got mad that they donated to, Obama campaign. Right. And so, because the guy lost a fucking bet.
Over a bet.
Right? So, over a bet. And it's like,
who cares?
I don't care if he did it because he wanted to.
Veterans get so freaking triggered, just like an average American sometimes gets so freaking triggered. And it's like, why would we not want Black Rifle Coffee to be loaded?
Exactly.
Why would we not want those
them?
Veterans to be so successful that we're just happy for them? I mean, shit.
Matt,
Nick. Hey, Matt,
who do you think they're going to hire when they are successful? Who do you fucking think that those guys are going to hire? Oh, P.S. Yeah. Dan and Ben will have a way easier job because they understand the fucking vocabulary that's being used.
Stop hating successful veterans.
Oh, because you guys are for profit? Yeah, we're for fucking profit, motherfucker. Because we
stop hating the go-getters because they did
shit.
Buy our shit. We want to fucking be so big that we can do whatever we want. Like, how does that not resonate in your head?
Yeah.
And it's like, guess what? When we put our stick in the game and we do become successful, because we will, just like Ben and Dan will, it's like, don't fucking hate on us when we have a giant ass fucking house. It's like, dude, we put our stick in the game. Like, what? Do yourself. So yeah, fucking love it what you guys do. We're gonna, like I said, we'll push you. We'll keep doing it. Send us notes if we're not. Won't be a problem. But go ahead, Joe. What do you got on that button? Because I know Dan and Ben haven't bought the button yet because they're just hating on veterans.
Right now, this button isn't flying off the shelves in every store because we haven't gotten big enough yet. But I'm telling you, run it.
Let me break it down Barney style. Smoke yourself. That's right. Face. From leader as within.
All right, we'll go through those.
See, listen, Daniel got some PTSD from the half-right face there.
I'm having like some flashbacks.
Did you hear that, Daniel? It said this is an effing soup sandwich. Fix it. All right, we've rolled through them all. But listen, $15, a portion of all of our proceeds go to Stop Soldier Suicide. To be honest with you, right now, that's the best we can do until we get to the point where somebody with a big pocketbook sees what we're actually doing, pays us to start setting up these fundraisers, these trips, these things that we'll be able to do when we've got a checkbook that says, hey, let's help these veterans. Let's go take them on a trip. Let's do this. Let's do that. It's coming. But until then, we donate to Stop Soldier Suicide because that's why we sell apparel. So $15 for the button. Great Christmas present stocking stuffer. Cussing alert. But hey, it says veteran on it. It should talk like one. So there it is. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here, Ben and Dan. Great show. Love your guys' cause. Trash Talkers, we'll see you again on Saturday. That's it.
Thanks for having us, man.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome, man. That's all.